This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video is brought to you by Blinkist. In just a moment, I'm going to talk about an offer exclusive to you in my audience. Listen, last night the internet broke in half. It freaked out, as it often does, when a promo was dropped by Piers Morgan of an upcoming interview on the 25th of April between he and Donald Trump. And I'm going to play the promo here, but just know this, that it's not what it seems, the way I understand it, the way I'm interpreting what went down. In fact, when it dropped, the manner with which the promo was put together, as though it's a monster. Sunday, right now on the President of the United States interview. It's way over the top, the production value. Its promotional nature should lead everybody to believe that maybe not everything that you see is as it actually happened. So later I'm going to play the promo, and then I'm going to play some audio that, full disclosure, was released by the Donald Trump team that kind of paints a different picture. And I've analyzed, I haven't run it through any programs, but I know enough about audio, having been a podcaster for over 8 years, that you could see when you're looking at the file if there's breaks and if it's been altered in any way or in certain ways. And I don't think it's altered. So it's one grifter being duped by another grifter, and that's really how we should look at this. And then I'm going to read another statement from the President of the United States of America. Before I get to all of this, and there's a whole bunch to talk about, a word from today's sponsor, Blinkist. I always have a stack of books at my bedside that I plan to get to. Histories that I want to know more about. Science topics that fascinate me. The stack persists like something is going to change, and all of a sudden I will have time to sit down and dig in. While my schedule sure hasn't relented, my likelihood of experiencing those books sure has. With Blinkist. Blinkist takes top nonfiction titles, pulls out the key takeaways, and puts them into text and audio explainers that give you the most important information in just 15 minutes. Blinkist has thousands of titles that run the gamut from politics to parenting, from investments to India after Gandhi. Just think of all the learning you keep meaning to make time for, but haven't. Head to Blinkist.com/Dollemore to start your free 7-day trial and get 25% off of a Blinkist premium membership. Think about how empowering this is. I was finally able to take in Bob Woodward's Fear in a single drive to the post office. I've long intended to read Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil, but have never gotten around to it. And I would love to better understand NFTs, but I know I won't make it all the way through the unabridged version of the NFT handbook. Catch up on your learning with Blinkist. That's Blinkist. Go to Blinkist.com/Dollemore now to get 25% off, as well as a 7-day free trial. Your bedside table will thank you. Before I get into this, can we just let's bring it in. Bring it in. Why is Donald Trump sweaty so much? Why is he angry so much? I understand the appeal of being the underdog, but when you're already the former president of these United States, you're no longer an underdog. You no longer have to be the scrappy fighter to get your place in the media sphere. When is this act going to grow old for Republicans and conservatives? When do they think their guy who's always fighting from underneath? When are they going to realize that this is all an act? Donald Trump has never, ever been an underdog. From the time that his daddy was giving him a $200,000 or $300,000 a year stipend as a child, to the hundreds of millions of dollars that was gifted him throughout his life, he's never been an underdog. He paints this picture, this mythos of himself as a guy who was always counted out. And that's just not the case. But conservatives, they love that trope so much, they cling to it. Here's that promo from the great underdog, Sweaty McSweat himself, Donald Trump. Watch this.
Okay, Piers, I'm ready.
A former president in denial.
I'll be completely straight with you to your face.
I think I'm a very honest man. Much more honest than you, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a free and fair election. You lost.
Only a fool would think
You
that.
think I'm a fool?
I do now, yeah.
With respect.
Excuse me.
Okay, with
The
respect, you haven't
legislature.
produced the hard evidence.
Excuse me.
The most explosive interview of the
I
year.
don't think you're real. It's
realise
just
I'm not like-
very
I
dishonest.
just-
Let's finish up the interview.
Morgan versus
Turn the
Trump.
camera off. Very dishonest.
So, obviously, that hits a bunch of notes. It delivers to the narrative that Donald Trump is what he is, which is weak, which is thin-skinned, that he can't handle it. He's going to argue about the facts about what is true and what is not, when it is clear that he lost the election. In fact, he wrote this statement, and I'm going to read the statement. If you're ready, if you're not, you're seated, whatever you need to do to be prepared for this gripping statement written on April 20th, 2022. Here we go.
Statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America.
Was that sufficiently crazy? I hope so. I think I may have burst a blood vessel. Here we go. Piers Morgan, like the rest of the fake news media that he capitalizes for some unknown reason, attempted to unlawfully and deceitfully edit his long and tedious interview with me. He wanted to make it look like I walked out on the interview when my time limit of 20 minutes went over by an hour. The good news is that the interview was taped by us as a means of keeping him honest. The interview was actually very strong on the 2020 election fraud. 2020 election fraud, also capitalized inexplicably. Ivy League educated, has no grasp of the English language. Fantastic. That's your guy, right? The evidence is massive and irrefutable. Check out Truth, the Vote, and the Dinesh D'Souza documentary. A convicted felon documentary. Great, good times. Which will all be coming out soon. For those who want to make Pierce look bad, for those of you who want to make him look, Piers Morgan is a dum-dum who does a great job of making himself look bad. He doesn't need for those of you who want to do it. Compare his video promo and how it was doctored to the real thing. Hopefully they will now be doing some big changes to their final product. It just shows, however, what I have to deal with, what I have to do. Poor me, I'm Donald Trump. Can never catch a break, Donald Trump. What I have to deal with in the fake news media, once again capitalized inexplicably. He went out of his way to deceptively edit an interview and got caught. This is a big story, isn't it? Question mark? Well, one, he unlawfully edited. So it was a crime. Donald Trump, master of the legal world, is asserting that Piers Morgan criminally edited this footage. That it was a crime that he committed. Nonsense. One, there are moments, even in the audio that was released, and I'm only going to play about a minute of it at the very end. But this does go to show that Donald Trump, this is why the Republican Party doesn't want to debate. That when it comes to answering questions about the facts, about reality, Donald Trump can't do it. They cannot do it as a party. They cannot deal with reality on reality's terms. It is tragic. So this is the apparent ending, by the way. It is about a 1-minute clip. They're talking about his hole-in-one because Donald Trump kept trying to end the interview like 3 times or so. And then finally he asked about the hole-in-one, which Donald Trump was more than happy to sit and stay and talk about. And then at the very end, when they get up, Donald Trump is walking away and says, very dishonest, because, you know, that's the refrain, that's the trope, that's the mantra that must be repeated at all times. Listen to this.
They make, I guess, 1 every 3 tournaments, and then you have to be in the group. So it's
Have you had one before?
I've had 7. This was a 7.
7 hole-in-one?
7. This was my 7th, which isn't that high a number, believe it or not. If somebody plays golf, I hear the record is 49. Okay, people.
Did you buy a round of drinks in the bar after?
I don't know, but I would certainly have been happy to.
When you don't drink?
I don't drink, no.
It is traditional, you buy a round for everyone.
That is true. That is
Did
true.
you do that?
Probably happened. I think it probably happened because I own the club. I'm sure it happened.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for a great interview.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
That was a great interview. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Bring the camera over.
Sarah, you should be.
Mike's on too.
So listen, this should be a lesson to a lot of people out there who like me, are disdainful of Donald Trump. I might even go as far as to say I hate him, because when you hurt people, when you harm groups of individuals en masse, unrepentantly, and you do it deliberately, I believe you're worthy of hate. When you do not try to ask forgiveness, you don't try to create or create change in yourself. When you gas peaceful protesters in the street, when you call Nazis very fine people, I'm not going to be tripping all over myself to find ways to like you. However, having said that, we need to do a better job of seeing through the subterfuge that in this case was seemingly created by Piers Morgan. And even though we have the feelings and the emotions that we have for Donald Trump, we need to deal with reality again on reality's terms. Anyway, what do you think about all of this? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore on Twitter, on Instagram, and on the TikTok. I'd love to see you there. If I bring you value, if I do something for you on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis, please consider supporting and producing what I do here for $1.99 a month. You can help produce what I do here. You can click the join button below this video, become a channel member, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt which is not just a podcast support mechanism. It absolutely funds and produces what I do here on YouTube. I love you all. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for engaging with my content. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.